Good morning, 7th grade. It's Mr. Hanks here. I'm making a little video today that's going over recognizing conjunctions and the exercise that we have to do on page 194, which is a little bit of new stuff. So hopefully this video helps you with any confusion that you might have. Remember, our Zoom meetings are Monday through Friday, 10:30 to 11. Okay, guys, so on page 194, and it might help if you follow along as we go through this, it talks about conjunctions. I'm going to read the 4 rules and talk about them, and then we're going to do a couple of the problems together, and hopefully that'll assist you. A conjunction is a word that joins words or groups of words. We've listened to the conjunction junction song in class. It's words like and, but, and or. Those are the most obvious ones, and they just join 2 separate parts of the sentence. I went to the store and I bought some apples. That is joining 2 independent clauses because each side of that sentence could stand alone as its own sentence. I went to the store, you could put a period there, and then and is a conjunction that is combining the second part, I bought some apples. So each of those could be a sentence. The second rule, we also have specific names for some types of conjunctions, the and, but, or, nor, for, and yet. Those are called coordinating conjunctions. It's just a vocabulary phrase that you'll need to try to remember. Some other coordinating conjunctions go in pairs. Either or, neither nor, both and, not only but also. So those are going to be oftentimes put together. An example of that would be both Jamie and Kendra bought bicycles with the money they earned. Both and are being used and they go together, both Jamie and Kendra. So that's an example of coordinating conjunctions going in pairs. Subordinating conjunctions are used to introduce adverb clauses. Now, an adverb clause is going to be a group of words with a subject and verb that is describing or modifying an adverb, adjective, or another, an adverb, adjective, or verb. Examples of these subordinating conjunctions are after, although, as if, as much as long as soon as, and then we have the example here. Because he had real determination, he would not quit. And because is being used as the subordinating conjunction that is introducing the adverb clause, he had real determination. Now the sentence is, because he had real determination, he would not quit. And the adverb clause is he had real determination. Now we have to have a subject and a verb in that clause. He is the subject, had is the verb. And because he had real determination is describing why he would not quit. And quit is a verb. So that beginning portion of the sentence is modifying the verb quit. That's why it's an adverb clause. That's a little bit complex, but hopefully that helps a little bit. So on exercise A, which you have to do, you have to identify the conjunction within the sentence by underlining it, and then to the side of it, you have to write whether or not the conjunction is joining words, phrases, sentences. And when it says sentences, it means essentially independent clauses, not actual sentences that are ended by periods, but just portions of the sentence that could stand alone if you took away everything else. And then dependent clauses. So the options are W for words, P for phrases, S for sentences, and D for dependent clauses. I want to do an example of each. Number 1 says, cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. Well, first we have to identify the conjunction. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, comma, and he shall sustain thee. That comma is breaking up the sentence in the middle there, and whenever you see a comma or a piece of punctuation like a colon or a semicolon, you should be on the look for one of those conjunctions because it's often going to come right after that piece of punctuation. And in this case, we have and that's immediately followed by the comma. So and is our conjunction, and we're going to need to underline that. And then we have to decide what this sentence or what the conjunction is joining. Okay, cast thy burden upon the Lord, comma, and he shall sustain thee. So if we take that and out of the sentence, we just have two portions of the sentence that say, cast thy burden upon the Lord, and then he shall sustain thee. Each of those are independent clauses that could stand alone as their own sentence. Okay? They have a subject and verb and convey a complete thought. So for number one, that's going to be a sentence joiner. So you would put S to the left of number one. Number three is an example of a conjunction joining phrases. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. And is our conjunction there once more. So we'll need to underline that. And as far as it joining phrases, it's not joining sentences like it was previously in the one that we just did, because in quietness, the portion of the sentence that comes prior to the conjunction, is not an independent clause. It's a prepositional phrase. In is a preposition, and then quietness is that object of the preposition. Remember, the object of the preposition is the noun that follows the preposition. So that is going to be joining phrases. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. An example of joining dependent clauses. Let's see here. Where liberty dwells, there is my country. This is number 4. Where? That's going to be a subordinating conjunction that comes right at the beginning. And liberty dwells, there is my country. There is my country, that's an independent clause. But liberty dwells, that has a subject and verb, but you couldn't say liberty dwells as a sentence in and of itself. So that's going to have to be a dependent clause. So you would put a D by number 4. Okay, if you said liberty dwells here, that could be an independent clause because that conveys a complete thought, but just liberty dwells by itself does not. And then finally, we have to do one with words. Number 5. Good manners and soft words have brought many difficult things to pass. And is our conjunction there, and it is breaking up the beginning portion of the sentence that just says good manners. Well, good manners is not a dependent clause, so we're not going to put a D there because it doesn't have a subject and verb. It's just a thing, good manners. Manners is a noun, and good is an adjective describing it, but we have no verb there. So in that case, it's just going to be words. Good manners is being joined to the second part of the sentence. Soft words have brought many a difficult thing to pass. And that, of course, would be an independent clause. So hopefully this has assisted you. I know that this is a little bit more complex, and I wish that we had the opportunity in class to do it up on the board and talk through it. But I believe in you guys. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to help you. So check this video out before we have our Zoom meeting today at 10:30 if you can, and we'll clear up any other confusion you might have. All right, guys, talk to you soon.